Akame Ga Kill. Before I begin, I apologize for not having a Fate Stay Night review uploaded yesterday. I was out of town, and by now it's probably too late, and I'm also pretty busy. I have some schoolwork that I need to get done. So my Naruto thank you video will be up later in the future, just not today. So it looks like shit is about to go down in the capital, because Najenda has apparently now encountered Esdeath. And I don't know if they're about to fight, but this is like, wow, what the hell? They took out Boric, right, which was the main target, so it's good on them. But then it's like, how are you going to take out Esdeath? Also, Wave just interfered to fight to save Kurome, which is kind of like a parallel between him and Tatsumi. Like the relationship between Kurome and Wave, and then Tatsumi and mine. Out of all the people that I expected Tatsumi to be with in the future, I don't know if this is going to turn into anything serious, but I always thought of Akame and Tatsumi together just because like they're kind of like the more main characters of the series. But I also appreciate the fact that this is there because as a writer or as an author, you have to be able to play with people's expectations. Something that we did learn in this episode is that Mine's pumpkin is not only more effective or more dangerous when she's in trouble, but it's also fueled by her emotions. So if someplace down the line she ends up actually falling in love for Tatsumi, some people would argue that there's no emotion greater and stronger than love. So I would like to see Pumpkin's power if that's the case. I like the fight, you know, the weaponry and the rocket launching was just great to see. And Mine was using Pumpkin in very creative ways. She uses it as a shield at one point, and then she also shoots one of these ledges as she's falling to create a little bit of an impulse to break her fall. But I do think that Ubiquitous should have been able to fight with more intelligence. One of the main reasons why Mine was able to win was because she had gathered intelligence, and she remembered a lot of Ubiquitous's moves and her powers, and where Cordo's core was, and all these little things. But I'm like, wait, Seryu, you were in that fight too. You should have learned something as well. That first fight, when Sheele was about to go out, Mine had to run away because her arm was damaged, and she couldn't use Pumpkin. So wouldn't like a proper or logical plan of action in Seryu's case would be to try to break Mine's arm so that she can't use her rifle? There's this one part where she just goes ham and just punches her, sends her out flying like Team Rocket, and she's like, ugh, she's been shot, granted, so she's like, ugh, I couldn't finish her off because of my injuries. Well, I would have gone straight for one of her arms. Try to break it, shoot it, whatever, damage it in some way. If you disable the arms, you pretty much disable the sniper. Seeing Cordo transform was always pretty cool, especially because he's so rabid. I do think that it made sense that she had a suicide bomb inside of her head so that whenever she wanted to go out, or if she was losing a battle, she would just blow up and take, like, according to her, evil with her. The Tatsumi versus that other chick, it was kind of like obvious that they just threw her in there. First of all, she was the last one left of the Roshaka or whatever the hell. That group of four, she was the last one left. So it's kind of like obvious that she was just there to get Tatsumi out of the way because this was Mine's fight. So aside from being an action-based episode, it's also a character development episode for Mine because it's basically her avenging her friends or avenging her loss, while at the same time developing Tatsumi because, you know, he wasn't able to save Bulat or Chelsea. And now he's able to save Mine, so it's kind of like they kind of develop each other in a way. And of course you get the repetition of the message that both sides are fighting for what they think is morally correct and just. And there was a very interesting thing in this episode in the beginning where Seryu is watching these kids and she's all happy about them. She thinks that they haven't been corrupted by evil. Obviously, evil being a subjective term. But then when she's about to fight Mine and Tatsumi, before she engages them in combat, she actually scans the area to detect evil, but she's also scanning the area to see if there aren't any civilians around. And after she finds out that there aren't, she gets really happy, and that's when she decides to fight. But it's interesting that she scanned the area. It just surprised me that she did that, because if she legitimately didn't give a fuck about it, she would have just gone ham from the get-go. So there's still that rationality there, and she's one of the most psychotic members of the Jaegers. But yet she still has like this rational thing of like, this is about protecting people in a way from evil. You have Mine's point of view in which like she's on the ground looking at the moon, and she remembers at one point when she was just like new and a foreigner, that's all basically she could do, just look at the sky. And then she realizes that maybe all the pain that she's gone through is probably because that gave her enough strength to be able to fight back and change the world for the better. And that's why she decides that she can't die. So it's kind of interesting how on the capital side, people are fighting for more of an ideology than the people. Whereas in the Revolutionary Army or in the Night Raid case, It's more about fighting for the people that you care about. But then you also have exceptions to that on the Jaegers side, like with Wave. Or like with Kurome, whose decisions have basically been manipulated by the influence and the effects of a drug. I like the episode a lot. Did anybody feel bad for Koro at the end? Because no matter like all the disgusting things that he ate and did, like at the end, that final scene, he's still a little fucking puppy. It's kind of like a conflicting image to see a puppy like that about to blow up. But anyway, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Rate the video. I appreciate the likes a lot. Subscribe to my channel. Catch you guys later. Thanks.